All right, here we go. It's Brushfire Mind. It is, right now it's Thursday night. We're actually recording this one the night before. We usually go live in the morning at 5. Well, tomorrow
About
will be
five.
Firearms Friday. So we got a story we wanted to cover, and it looks like we're not going to be available to do the show tomorrow morning, so we're coming at you early. Boom. That man right there, that is Tim Pool. That's who we're going to be talking about for a minute. So Tim Pool had himself a little situation. Um, seems old Tim was sitting at his house when this happened.
About 4 hours ago, I was greeted at my home by a strange person who tried breaking in. In this, what you see on the screen here is this right here is the individual.
Oh, it got okay. So yeah, so he's telling the story. Y'all go watch the video. He uploaded a video. It's about 15 minutes. The whole ordeal. It sounds like he had just gotten done talking to the police shortly prior to starting the video. He's telling a story about somebody came to his house at 4:30 in the morning, knocked on his door, and apparently tried to kick the door in.
Pop the
And
latch. That's
yeah,
what he said.
yeah, trying to pop the latch. Um, Guys, that's some scary stuff. I'm sure it's real scary for a young, unarmed man living in the suburbs.
Yeah, and Tim Pool, if you follow him, you know he's getting threats over the news organization he's trying to build, the events that he's trying to organize. Because Tim Pool does this thing where he tries to actually be like a journalist, and Tim Pool also admits all of his biases on the front end. Like, I appreciate the fact that the day he donated to Tulsi Gabbard's campaign, he said, "I donated to Tulsi Gabbard's campaign, all
Yeah,
cards on the table." Oh, okay, fine. You know what? You have conviction, and you're going to stand by it. To me, that increases your credibility.
and oh,
Okay, while
excuse
you
me.
yawn, what he's been getting threats for is he's actually trying to build a new news organization. He's got projects that he's working on. Go to his channel and check it out. And
Yeah,
ever since he
there'll be
kicked all this
links
stuff
below
off,
for Tim's channel.
oh yeah, of course, go check it out. It's actual news.
So Tim had to call the cops, and I get it. Probably would have done the same myself. And he had this to say about while he was talking to the police. Make sure I'm hitting the right
Cops
button.
showed up, and I'm extremely grateful to them. They got here really quick. They were really nice guys, and they were calm, and they made some allusions to the Second Amendment, which I will take very seriously. And look, Joe, look, I am not a gun control freak. You know what I mean? Like I'm fairly moderate. So we've had discussion about home defense, and we're absolutely for it. So
So we've had the discussion about home defense. We're absolutely for it. So the police came, they took a statement, so on and so forth, and heavily alluded to the Second Amendment. Yeah, Tim, go buy a gun, brother.
Yeah, look, seriously, dude, I have 8 syllables for you. Hollow point 9 millimeter. Just a tip. Just an idea.
Just the tip.
Well, I mean, when you're firing hollow points, do you need anything else?
Woo. So yeah, Tim, go get a gun. But I gotta say, it sounds like Timmy's already tracking, and he's gonna go take care of business. Um,
Yeah, don't look, brother. Don't skimp. Don't buy a high point.
God, no.
And look, you don't even have to buy the most expensive gun. You could just go to the local pawn shop and make friends with the guy behind the
I
counter.
don't think it works that way in New York.
He's not in New York. He's in California. Or is he in New York? Do I
No,
have this completely backwards?
he's in New York. It,
Ah,
it doesn't work that way in California either.
I guess I've seen Terminator too many times. Hey, you can't do that. Wrong.
So, but here's where it gets really interesting. He's doing this video where he's talking about these people coming to his house at 4:00 in the morning, and all of a sudden,
But, you know, with the light on, you can see everything perfectly. And the cop was like, well, you should... And there you go. So I'll just say this. I don't know who this person...
so I fast forwarded through the actual 911 call, or police call, whatever but just right there in the middle of the video, you know, he's sitting there talking about somebody coming to his house, and you know, it balls early. So I guess that's about 8 o'clock at that point.
Barking.
And all of a sudden the dog starts barking, and there's some rattling noise, and Tim did the right thing. He went ahead and called the police. The righter thing would have been to, you know,
go get your shotgun.
Post up, baby. But, and you know, hey, Tim, like he said in one of those clips, he's a moderate guy. He's a pretty moderate guy. He's not a gun grabber. He doesn't believe in gun control. I think he has some opinions that are not to my liking as far as what reasonable gun control might mean, but he's not a take them all the way kind of guy. Right. He's one of those lovely young liberals who believes that you can have gun control without complete confiscation. I envy his naivete a little bit there, but the escalation of it. I mean, I think Tim got a dose of reality, and he had this to say after he talked to the cops the second time.
Do not come to my house, especially not right now. Again, I don't care who you are, and don't be surprised when home defense becomes an issue, if you know what I mean. And I think a lot of people can understand why that's an important thing.
Tim, we know what you mean. We won't be surprised if home defense becomes an issue. We do know what you mean.
Yeah.
I will not come to your house at 4:00 in the morning. I promise.
No,
Frankly,
I promise.
I'm busy. And I mean, we're in Georgia. We're in Georgia where we're still a little bit free.
Yeah, plus, I'm not going to anybody's house at 4:00 in the morning.
Yeah, under almost zero circumstances are you going to find me arriving at your house at 4:00 in the morning, unless we have a frickin' shoot at 5 or 6. I mean,
that's right. Unless it was prearranged for a fishing trip.
Yeah,
or a
4:00 in the morning,
balls out emergency.
Yeah, it's a balls out emergency. We're going hunting, we're going fishing, or we're about to make a fucking movie. 4:00 in the morning, don't come knocking. Yeah. So, Tim, we're going to talk a little bit about why good men should keep a weapon. And I know my tiny little channel, we've got 130 something subscribers. I mean, hey, Tim, if we get, if you see this video, please subscribe and tell people that we love you and you're awesome, and that they should totally listen to how we disagree with you on occasion, but we have reasonable disagreements, and we're not pulling our hair out with whatever the far right version of Trump derangement syndrome is. But that said, we're going to talk a little bit about why good men should be armed. And I'll say that, I'll make a quick reference to Jordan Peterson. Good men are dangerous. Weak men are not good men. Pacifism is the opposite of decency. To be a pacifist is to philosophically and dogmatically adhere to the notion that there is nothing in this world which has such value that it is worth defending, including your family and even your own life. That's what pacifism is that nothing is valuable enough to risk your life or to end another life to protect, including your children. And please believe, when we start talking about my babies, my wife, all other lives are forfeit without exception.
Yeah, I mean, burn a skyscraper to the ground. I'm sorry. Wait, you told me not to make the noise, but sorry, not sorry. Bye, Felicia.
Oh, God,
I'm lighting that skyscraper on fire.
Oh,
but it's true. It's true. Seriously, though, I mean, let's just run down the list.
That's what he was talking about.
Hey, that's guns, baby. Oh, look, Philadelphia. You know, there's a guy in Philadelphia that Chris and I met once, Maj Torre. Met him at the NRA convention. Sharp cat. He's the guy that runs
Maj.
Yeah, runs the Black Guns Matter. And his whole purpose is to educate black people and get black people legal concealed carry permits, the whole nine. And not just black people. It's not exclusive. But his primary focus is, like, he's even got a t-shirt that says, "Make the hood great again." And his point is, more guns are the answer. Yes, dude. It's the first time I saw it in one of his posts. Yeah, it was. But guns are the great equalizer. They are. Look, guns are perfect for feminists. Oh, you want to decrease rapes? Shoot rapists, preferably while they're trying to rape you. Problem solved. Problem solved. I mean, there's never been a case where the bad guys don't prey on the unarmed. The Joker shooter from Illinois that shot up a Batman screening, he passed other theaters. He drove specifically to that theater because that theater had a no carry restriction in place. So he knew it was going to be fish in a barrel. And look, I go to a pretty big church here in Polk County, and we have a huge youth program. It's almost the size of our adult service, and there is an armed cop who hangs out by the desk on Sunday mornings because our children are precious. I mean, you've heard the cliches before. Well, there are armed guards at banks. Politicians have armed guards. Celebrities have armed guards. But our children do not. In a vile, evil, cruel world, our children do not have guards. Piss on it. More guns is the answer. More guns is always the answer. You're more free with more guns. It's just a fact. We've tried it your way. We've tried the gun-free zones. We've tried the gun control. We've tried the background checks. And I think it's fair to say that it doesn't work very well. And you ridicule people like me for suggesting maybe we swing the pendulum back the other direction. I mean, forget the fact that your solution objectively doesn't work. School shootings still happen. You want to stop school shootings? Return fire. Period. You only need about 5-10% of them teachers to be armed, and school shootings end. They end. Soapbox. Exit.
Let's watch this clip.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus, come on. There we go. I don't know if the audio is getting through or not. Boom! And that is a smooth-ass draw, too. Look at that.
It's almost like he's practiced that several dozen times. Look, you just need the Morgan Freeman voice. It was at this moment he knew he fucked up.
Oh, they're not going to let us see it. They're not going to let us see the shot.
No, of course not. Because that's not.
But you know what? Seeing that draw was probably good enough for me. Okay, I don't need your AccuWeather. Shut up. Okay.
Police say an armed man in his 30s attempted to rob the store when the Metro PCS employee, who has a permit to carry, shot the suspect. Just so that we're clear, this is from 3 days ago. All right, so we're still inside our time frame, people.
Yep, that's 5 for 5, baby.
5 for 5.
Wait, 5 for 5 what? Dead right there.
That's correct.
All right. Look,
next line in the article.
I'm not saying
died at the scene.
It's not that I'm saying that the suspect deserves to die. I think that pretty much goes without saying. I don't need to say it. But here's the thing. Dead bad guys don't do bad shit. Dead rapists don't rape people. Dead murderers don't murder people. And dead terrorists don't blow up freaking buildings. Dead bad guys don't do bad shit. And when you have one like this, where it's such a clear-cut case of self-defense, that would-be victim has just saved the police time and money, saved the taxpayer dollar on prosecution, on incarceration. It's better for everyone. And I would actually make the argument that it's better for the criminal as well. Because personally, I don't want to be locked up. I believe that incarceration is a more gruesome, cruel and unusual punishment than termination. I do. I would rather be executed than incarcerated. Now, that's assuming a long period of incarceration.
Yeah. I would like 90 days here, Chris.
I wouldn't rather be hanged than locked up for. Yeah, I wouldn't rather be hanged than locked up for, say, a year. I think
let you out on Tuesday. Jesus.
I think I could handle a year inside without changing much. It can't be much worse than Afghanistan. Hell, I bet they have toilets.
That flush.
I bet they have bread that's never seen a foot.
Dude, I can never get past the foot bread. Yeah, but like Chris said, it's not that we want a dead suspect. That's not the point. You're going to have to use just a little bit of nuance. But I echo the statement.
I would prefer that criminals not commit crimes. But if they're going to commit crimes where they threaten a person with a firearm, I want them dead.
Yeah,
dead right there.
They get shot by another firearm. And, well, God's in his heaven and all's right with the world.
That's right. And Tim, if that son of a bitch had knocked on the door at 4:30 and kicked it in, and you were right, he wouldn't come back to bother you at 8.
Nope, he would not have come back to bother you at 8. So, one more time, I'm going to say it 5 weeks in a row. If you never rob a liquor store, the liquor store owner never pulls out a double-barrel shotgun and fills you so full of SpaghettiOs. Fills you so full of birdshot. You look like a plate of spilled SpaghettiOs. I fucked up my own tagline. But I think this week it's more accurate to say if you never rob a Metro PCS store, a concealed carry permit never shows you how to execute a perfect draw in a tense circumstance.
Because that was smooth.
It was butter. It was water. You pour water in teapot, it become teapot. Like, that was that draw.
The mountain is again the mountain.
Yeah, I mean, look, you gotta that guy's heart has got to just be like a freaking jackhammer in his chest. And, dude, I mean, it was like cream.
Oh, yeah, and when you draw like that and put one at a bad guy, let me tell you something. You get a smooth draw and end the enemy, my friend, you will be hard as Chinese algebra.
Headshot.
Doom, doom.
Yeah.
All right, brother, that's all I got for tonight.
That's all I got. Wake the hell up and go buy a gun. Not just Tim Pool, but all of you. All of you. Armed societies are polite societies. It is an awesome responsibility to carry a weapon.
And we need to do another show in the not too distant where we talk about all these staggering idiots. I see them on Facebook and Twitter, wherever. Oh, I see these open carry guys. What cowards! No. Oh well, I've got my fists. If any, no. I have fists too. I'm an over 300-pound man with multiple levels of martial arts training. I'm not worried about one thug. I carry a firearm because I'm a damn man. And I swore, I put my hand up, and I said I will defend this Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And if I am not prepared to do that to the best of my ability, whatever the situation, then I am not doing what a man does. I'm not defending my family, I'm not defending my nation, and I'm not defending the Constitution. You need to wear a weapon. Because there are people around you whose fists are not sufficient to protect them from a horde of violent, angry, masked left-wing terrorists, which appears to be a rising problem today.
Yeah, seriously, men in particular. I mean, I want the women to buy guns. I really do. But men in particular, get a job, get a gun, own at least one sport coat. It's not that hard.
Yeah, wear a watch, carry a cigarette lighter, cash, and a pocket knife. Jesus Christ, we're men. You have shit to do. Go to work. Also, this is the last thing, and then I'm going to shut up. Antifa. All right? These mobs of active domestic terrorists are occurring in tightly gun-controlled places. You're not seeing that shit happen in Metro Atlanta. You're not seeing Antifa doing a lot in Texas. No, you're seeing them in Seattle. You're seeing them in, up and down California. You're seeing them at Berkeley. You're seeing them in New York, in Washington, D.C. You see active, violent left-wing terrorists causing harm with weapons to unsuspecting civilians around this country in places where Democrats have disarmed the populace. You don't see that shit happen around here, for example, because as soon as 20 people start coming at old Hillbilly with bike locks and battery acid milkshakes, they're gonna get shot.
And if not by the old hillbilly, by the old hillbilly's friend.
That's probably not just one armed hillbilly.
And look, it's not just the hillbillies that are armed around here. Everybody armed around here. Like the firearm is.
Everybody and his mum's got guns around here. Like who? Well, like the farmers. Yeah, and farmers' mums. All right, and that is all I've got. If you build a man a fire, you'll keep him warm for the evening. If you set a man on fire, he'll be warm for the rest of his life. And we will see you again on Monday. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Don't drive drunk, and don't fry bacon naked.